afternoon. I'm Maricel Halili. This is One News Now. The country's anti-COVID task force is urging Bulacan to ramp up its contact tracing efforts. The province has the most number of COVID-19 cases in the region. To give us the details, Greg Gregorio reports to us live from Malolos, Bulacan. Greg, what are the numbers?
Maricel, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III is indeed urging the local government units here in Bulacan to intensify their contact tracing efforts and follow DOH's recovery protocol for COVID-positive residents. Earlier today, members of the IATF checked in on the situation in Bulacan, which has been placed under modified ECQ until August 18. Latest data from the health department show that the province has the highest number of COVID-19 cases in Region 3, with over 2,500 cases. More than half of the number are active cases. The Provincial Health Office, though, says the numbers are much lower, citing data verification issues. The LGU says cases in Bulacan rose by 200 when the province shifted to GCQ in June. The number even increased by 1,000 in early July when their status was downgraded to a modified GCQ. Now they only have close to 40% recovery rate. Provincial Public Health Office Chief Dr. Jocelyn Gomez said some LGUs are still waiting for PCR results of COVID-positive patients before tagging them as recovered. But Duque highlighted that they have to follow the time-based recovery protocol implemented by the DOH, meaning an asymptomatic case may be tagged as recovered when no symptoms appear during the patient's 14-day quarantine, and as soon as a mild patient has recovered from symptoms and finished the isolation period. Duque also pointed out how the province needs to ramp up its contact tracing efforts. Based on the Provincial Health Office, they locate an average of 4 close contacts per one positive case. This is far behind contact tracing SAR Ben Magalong's formula of 1:30 contact tracing rate for rural areas and 1:37 for urban areas. According to Duque, from more than 1,000 active cases in the province, they should have traced at least 20,000 individuals. Maricel, the Bulacan's occupancy rate for its isolation beds and ICU beds and isolation rooms in its government facilities has reached the warning zone. In response, Governor Daniel Fernando said they are constructing an addition mega quarantine facility with 100-bed capacity. And he also vowed that they will strengthen their contact tracing efforts and the imposition of lockdown measures. Maricel?
Greg, as you mentioned earlier, the local government of Bulacan has an average of 4 close contacts for every one positive patient. This is far behind the target of the contact tracing SAR to have at least 30 to 37 close contacts per COVID positive patient. Did the local government of Bulacan explain where lies the problem?
Maricel, due to time constraints, Governor Fernando failed to explain why is that the case in Bulacan. But if we are to compare with other provinces like the province of Cavite, they have the same situation, the 1:4 ratio of contact tracing rate. They are saying that in these areas, COVID positives get their infection from NCR, or they are residents who work in NCR. Thus, their close contacts resides in parts of Metro Manila. So, with this recommendation from the IATF to intensify their contact tracing efforts, Governor Fernando vowed to intensify the contact tracing efforts. He is inclined to utilize barangay officials into doing the contact tracing. And National Task Force for COVID-19 Chief Implementer Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. is also suggesting that the government may use the SK officials as contact tracers, since the contact tracing may also be done remotely, not necessarily that they do not necessarily go face-to-face with those possible close contacts of a positive case. Maricel?
All right, thank you. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Bulacan. Here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Philippine National Police will implement a no-face shield, no-entry policy to all personnel and visitors in Camp Crame beginning August 17. COVID-19 cases among PNP personnel have hit more than 2,700, 25 of which are new infections. Senator Nancy Binay is urging DepEd to give private school clear guidelines on how they would go about now that the resumption of classes has been deferred to October 5. To date, more than 1,200 private schools have already started classes. Education Secretary Leonor Briones earlier said private schools that have already started classes will be allowed to continue. And progressive group Anakpawis wants the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights to look into the brutal killing of its national chairperson, Randy Echanis. In a statement, the group said the incident must be established in the international community as a politically motivated murder. Separate investigations into the slay of Echanis are now ongoing. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.play.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Maricel Halili. We are One News.